Hi everyone. This week we're going to finally move forward with the quilt block series. I know it's been a while. I've had a list of projects that longer than my arm to get through, and this one's just been put off so many times. So this one's a little different. Whilst it still maintains the easy to work with squares, rectangles, and half square triangles, when put together it creates a wonderful flower block. You'll need three fabrics for this one, and I really think about the fabrics because the background needs to be much lighter than the flower, the bud and the leaves so that it pops. So as with the others, I'm using white, black and grey textured blender. You need the following cuts from the fabric. From the white you need three 4.5-inch squares, one 2.5-inch square, a 4.5 by 2.5-inch rectangle, and two 4 and 7/8 inch squares. Those then need to be cut on the diagonal. All of the largest squares need to be cut on the diagonal, but we'll come to that. From the grey you need one 4.5-inch square and one 4 and 7/8 square. And finally from the black you need one 2.5-inch square and one 4 and 7/8 square. Again, cut on the diagonal. So I'm going to add a link to the blog post where I'm going to add a image that makes all these cuts clearer. And for those who have no clue what 7/8 of an inch look like, I really wish I could say that, here's an image. I'll also add this image to the blog post. So before we start construction, we need to cut those larger squares in half across the diagonal. Now you can mark the line and then cut it, or simply place your ruler from one corner to the other and run your rotary cutter down it. You need to do this for all of those 4 and 7/8 inch squares. So you'll be left with two black triangles, two grey triangles and four white triangles. Now they're cut, lay out all your pieces. Again, I'll add an image to the blog so that you can see quickly where things go. Doing this just allows you to visualise how it comes together. It will also confirm that you've made all the cuts correctly before you start sewing them together. So let's just speed up a little. So we're going to create the bud section first. So I need to move all the others to make room. Take a 2.5-inch square of black and a 2.5-inch square of white. And you'll also need the 4.5 by 2.5-inch rectangle. So remember, the black bud section needs to be at the bottom of the two 2.5-inch squares. Flip the top white patch over on top of the black patch with the right sides facing one another. Then sew across that top edge using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. All seams are 1/4 inch in this block, and to be fair, in most of the blocks that I create. So press to set the seam, then press that seam open. I've gone and put all the other patches on the ironing mats like an idiot, so I'll finger press this for now. With the blank square at the bottom and your rectangle on the left, flip the 2.5-inch squares on top of the rectangle right sides together and sew down the right hand side. Press open. That's the bud section complete, so set that aside and we'll move on to patch 2 for row 1. This time take a grey triangle and a white one. Place them right sides together and sew down the longest edge. You can pin them together if you want to. Press the seam open. I'll stop saying that, just assume that that's what you need to do, unless I say so. So the third patch of row 1 is just a simple white patch, so nothing to prepare here. Let's move on to row 2. So the first patch in row 2 is another grey and white patch, made in exactly the same way as the previous one. The second patch in row 2 needs no preparation. And the third patch in row 2 is a white triangle and a black triangle. As with the others, right sides together. Sew down the longest edge. And then press open. Row 3 begins with a full patch, so again no prep needed. Then we complete another white and black patch, followed by another full patch. So that's all the individual patches created. Now we can put them all together. But before I do that, because the ironing mat is now cleared off, I'm going to give all these a quick press. I'll run this forward because hopefully you ironed your seams as you were going along. So we're first going to put together the 3 rows. Lay out your first row, then flip the middle patch over onto the first patch so the right sides are facing. Sew down the right hand side, and then repeat that process to add the final patch to the end. Press both those seams open, give it a quick run over from the top, and then repeat the process for the other 2 rows. We need to sew the 3 rows together now. So you're going to align the bottom of row 1 with the top of row 2 by flipping row 1 down on top of row 2. Before sewing, pop a pin through the 2 seams to ensure that they're aligned correctly for each row. The fabrics need to be right sides together again. Sew across this using the 1/4 inch seam allowance. Be sure to remove your pins as you sew. Never, never, never sew over a pin. Press to set the seam, then press that seam upwards. Right, as I was about to get to the final row, my camera stopped recording because, well, of course it did. I did spot it and I did set it recording again, but somehow made a settings change at the same time and the video I created, well, it just won't play. It's basically put together in the same way as the previous rows, so align the seams that run down between the patches, pop in a couple of pins, sew it, and this time press that seam downwards. Then give the block a nice run over with an iron, and that's it. This, I can't help but think that this one would look really, really pretty in lots of different flower colours, bud colours, retaining the background in a white and potentially different shades of green for the leaves. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Until next time, happy sewing. This week we're going to finally move forward with the quilt bolt and 2 4 7/8 in 7/8 no, and 2 4 7/8 inch rectangle and 2 4 7/8 inch so the black bud, so remember the black with the black square at the bottom of your rectangle, and that's the bud. So that's all we need to start the 3 roll. Nah.